Hey, what it do? What's up, you guys? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all, we gotta get into this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Miss Sunny. Okay? Miss Sunny Sunshine. I said this in the last episode. I said, for starters, I'm on Team Destiny, but, I am just, taking it as face value as what you and Moses gave us, okay, Miss Sunny? But this second episode, I think, has confirmed to a lot of people, that you did what you did. Yeah, you did what you did. I told you, if y'all watched my last review, I said she must have hung out with Portia. That you must know Portia, okay? Because y'all is out here stealing people's mans, okay, with no remorse. And honestly, we'll get into that. We'll talk about how I'm realizing what Sunny's logic was. But let's go ahead and get to the episode, you guys. If you're new to my channel, I appreciate you for tuning in. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know where you found your girl at, okay? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It does your girl wonders in the algorithm, okay? Just come in and say hi. Free 99. I ain't asking you for nothing. The button is free, okay, y'all? So go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and let's get into it, all right? So we opened up the episode, picked up where we left off, y'all. Carlos is trying to be the own Andy Cohen. That's what it's really giving. Y'all know Carlos has started his little is it a podcast, I guess? Yeah, his podcast. And I think because Carlos knows Love and Marriage Huntsville obviously isn't gonna go too much longer, he needs something else, because Love and Marriage Huntsville, Detroit, and that other one, DC, is to the wayside. So I think Carlos is just trying to expand his reach, and it's kind of making me feel some type of way, low-key, because he lost focus on producing for a second, which is why last season of Love and Marriage Huntsville wasn't the greatest, nor was, like, most of Carlos' shows weren't the greatest, because he definitely is more focused on, like, the me aspect of it and no longer the producing. And I think people got on his ass, which is why this season, clearly, there's a lot more juice, there's a lot more squeeze to get out of, what they're giving us. But nonetheless, Carlos being messy. Oh, I got Sunni and Moses. They come on stairs. Melody was like, everybody on stage, half the people clapping, half the people booing. And Carlos is like, hey, Sunni, I know you. You were one of my producers. And now you're here with your mans. Shoot, Moses is real crazy. You show up for her, and you couldn't even sit on the couch last time with Destiny. And Sunny, when she said, long story short, you showed for the people that you love and want to, it was like, ugh, Sunny, you're gonna have to stop taking these little, jabs at Destiny, because it's not helping your case. It's not. It's really not. So basically, Carlos gets into asking about the details. When did y'all meet? When was it official? Sunny, how did you feel? Did you feel like he was betraying Destiny? Sunny felt like, girl, I didn't owe her nothing. Sunny is trying to, but that's the problem, Sunny, because you keep talking out of both sides of your neck. First, it's like, I didn't owe her nothing. Girl, he was dating a whole bunch of women when you were with him, so you was a side chick. Then, it's, I wasn't talking to her, or I wasn't talking to Moses, and I never heard of Moses, when I was her producer. And it's like, girl, you tell me you didn't hear nothing, absolutely nothing about Moses being Destiny's producer? Stop it. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that, Sunny. So, finally Moses gets to speaking with his old Beijing beard. Any man that literally just goes jet black with the hair or the beard already, look at you with my good eye, okay? But Moses, his version of the story was like, yeah, and first it was him and Destiny called it quits January 3rd, and then I synced her. I synced her January 12th, and then I synced her again, The fact that he kept saying synced, I was like, you was them growing up in class when the teacher asked you to read, and everybody in the classroom was like, oh, this nigga, like, Moses, I'm a little concerned about you, but Sunny said, I'm gonna throw it on the line for this man, because You know, she said, this could be my husband, my potential, my forever, okay? Always and forever. Okay, that's what she wanted. But yeah, first it was like, oh, you know, me and Destiny were together, but then later on in the interview, it's like, when they asked him, he's like, well, you know, we never broke up. Even Melody was like, that sounds like a lot of gray area. What do you mean we never broke, like, y'all never broke up? He was like, well, you know, I was just being there for her. You know, she was doing, you know, interviews and she was doing music and da-da-da-da. You know, I was just supporting her. And so, you know, when I was out and I ran into Sunni, you know, at family events, you know, I just, you know, when I seen her at the family events, you know, that's when we finally exchanged numbers. But we didn't really start talking until, like, he said, like, June or July. And so Sunni, you know, she's talking. The girls in the crowd talking about, girl, you wrong. Sunni in the confessional, like, I wasn't expecting this. What you mean you weren't expecting this? You know the optics of this don't look good. You know it don't look good. What? Especially with the history that Love and Marriage Huntsville has. You know, people swindling people's you know, spouses. They don't, the fans don't take too kindly to that, okay? So yeah, Sunni just tried to basically put a long story short, we married, you know, we meant to be together, you know, I prayed to God, and you know, I'm this is a man, you know, God made from, y'all know when somebody start bringing God into it, you know, when they start bringing God into it, you know they messed up. But it's just kind of like, Sunni girl, your defense level is giving it away. Long story short. But moving on, because we'll talk more to Sunni. But Moses, oh yeah, with his I synced her, yeah, that I was like, cut. So next we had Stormi. Was it Stormi? No, Marceau and Maurice, they go and talk to Martell. Maurice and Marceau, they on the way over there. They like, man, Martell, like, he just keep fucking up. Like, damn, he ain't learning his lesson. Maurice said him and Kimmi bought a ma and pa shop. Code for, I bought a ma and pa shop and I let Kimmi know after, because you know that's always been a complaint for Kimmi. And then you buying a ma and pop shop in this type of in this economy, you know, Maurice is doing everything he can to make some money and taking on new projects. But did you finish Kimmy's little room and building yet? Did you get your cousin to finish building that office yet? Right, okay, because I'm sure it's probably still not done. I guarantee. And want to sit there and buy a mom pop shop. Maurice, you worry about the wrong fucking thing. But nonetheless, you know, they over there like to try to talk some sense into Martell. Marceau at this point is like, that nigga gonna be who he is. The nigga gonna nig. You know, he's hard-headed, and it's very clear that he is on this revenge thing, and he's not learning his lesson. Point blank, period. Maurice is still trying to feel like, oh, you know, there's a little bit of hope for Marty Ball. But Marceau was like, all right, we talking to a brick wall. I'm just here so I can go take a look at this house. I don't know if it's a house that it was his or one that he was building or what. I don't know what, but finally he got a roof over his head that isn't him squatting at somebody else's residence. But, you know, they come in and get to talking to Martell about, like, what the fuck is up? Like, yo, you doing interviews with bloggers. Like, you know, obviously we saw the headlines. He's like, man, you know, man, that's just what happened. Maybe because, like, at the end of the day, she going low. I'm going lower. Like, she got me arrested. It's always she. She did this to me. She's the one who did this to me. She's the one who's making me look bad. She's the one that saw that the headline said DV, and she should have came out and said, nah, it wasn't domestic. It was a text message. The fact that you even feel like Melody is still, like, for some reason responsible or entitled to making sure your reputation is upheld is why you're tapped, Martell. You're divorced. Don't you get it? Like, that's the problem, low-key, because Martell is giving real narc vibes. That's the problem with, unfortunately, with men like Martell. They have to have a source. They have to have somebody that feeds their ego, feeds their, men need that ego boosted and that masculinity pumped all the time, which is why they can't not have women around them. And when Melody no longer was doing it, feeding the ego, that's why he always went over there to coleslaw. But I still needed Melody because Melody is what helped me with the overall picture and appearance of how people saw me. And that's a huge thing that is very important to people with those narc qualities, is how people view me and people's perception of me. I have to give off, I have to look a certain way to others. Like, I gotta look like I got the whole picture. I got the wife, the kids, the facade, basically, right? Up front, it looks all nice and dandy, and it's always the woman's responsibility, as we know. It's always a woman's responsibility to make sure the husband looks good. Don't make the dad look bad. Think of the kids. It's always a woman that got to think of the kids. But you niggas don't be thinking about the kids when y'all be out there taking your penis out the household. Shout out to Melody. So sorry y'all if the lights going up and down. Like, literally, I don't know what the sun is doing. Yeah, it's like, now that he no longer has access to Melody, he is losing it, which is why he literally feels like, she did this to me. No, why are you starting when she got you arrested? No, you got you arrested. You got you arrested, Martell, because we got to get back to, why did the arrest start? Why did the arrest happen? The arrest happened because you threatened her with revenge Pinot. And you already knew that it was going to be some shit because you said it in the text message. You said, this will probably ruin me, but I'm tired of you and your bullying. I.e., he feels like Melody is responsible for all of, basically, the fans, the viewers getting in his ass. But it's like, he still has this vision of himself as if he's the one getting done wrong. Oh, I waved the white flag a long time ago. I've been wanting to wave the white flag, and it's just messed up because, I stopped getting on social media and everything and, trying to get on her good side. And I guess that just made her feel like, oh, Martell, Martell's just not going to say nothing. And I'm just tired of that. Us nice guys. He said us nice guys. I about threw my remote at the TV. Nice guys. Any man, first of all, nice guy is a dead giveaway. Dead giveaway, okay? Us nice guys finish last. Do nice guys have babies on their wives, Martell? Oh, okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, he has in his mind, basically, like, it's always going to be Melody's fault, which is how narcs operate. It's never their fault. Never. It's never their fault. So now Maurice is like, what is your end goal here? Like, you're at the race to the bottom. Marceau was like, it don't matter what you do. You're going to be the bad guy. And he tried to throw some shade talking about, oh, they'll buy, Melody's shirt to make her a millionaire, because he still ain't got on the fact that Melody checked his ass. You was trying to be funny last season, Marceau, with that damn t-shirt shit. And then when Melody was like, well, nigga, don't you do e-commerce too? Well, I mean, I just do e-commerce for the money. It ain't my thing. Nigga, see, like, Marceau hit all of these niggas is tapped, really. But Martell is at the top of the list, okay? But nonetheless, Martell feels like, well, Marceau, he can't say nothing because he be going back and forth with the viewers and fans, just like a female, so he can't tell me nothing. Martell is always going to figure out a reason not to take any good advice, because unfortunately his eye is on the prize of making Melody look just as bad as me. But Martell, y'all been divorced for 3 years, so it don't matter. Okay, so in a dream scenario, this is what I'm saying, like in a dream scenario, oh, you put something out there that makes Melody look terrible and everybody goes after Melody, then what? Then what, Martell? Y'all still not gonna get back together. She's still not gonna take you back. It's still not gonna make you not broke. It's still not gonna make you not a dog ass nigga. It's still not gonna make you not have your builder's license. You're mad at Melody, but honestly, he's so mad at himself that, like, he just can't get himself to accept that he's the fuck up, that he's the reason that he's in this situation. Broke, destitute, and over there doing drive-by at Coleslaw House when it get cold outside at night, okay? Because, let me slide in, right? And she taking care of your kids, right? Martell is just not computing to him, because all along, it's always Melody's responsibility. It was Melody's responsibility to keep them together. She was supposed to stay. And the fact that she didn't stay is blowing his mind. Because that last baby was supposed to be the nail in the coffin. Y'all know niggas use babies, as they safety guards. That last baby was supposed to make Melody stay. And the fact that it didn't is blowing his mind. But yeah, he Martell's like, I hear y'all. And Maurice is like, but you don't. Marcel was like, see, I told you. Maurice is like, damn. He's like, this Marcel said you was going to say this, because he's like, it's going in one ear and out the other. Because at the end of the day, Martell, he is just not going to be satisfied until he feels like Melody got someone, like, is blamed for the demise of the relationship just as much as him. And it's not going to happen, Martell. It's not. Okay? So go to therapy. Like, literally the only thing you need to do right now is go to therapy, which happened to be court ordered. So the fact that you're still not going to therapy that is court ordered, Martell, you are, like I said, tapped, delusional. Moving on. Another person that's a little tapped, delulu, is KeKe. So Stormi goes over to talk to KeKe. And she, basically wants to check up on her, because y'all know at the time, all the blogs is going over with what KeKe said and everything that happened, in Houston. And KeKe was upset at Melody and basically, went to talking. And so she talked to a blogger. It went everywhere. And now she tries to sit there and act like, oh, it wasn't my fault. It was my mama. God dang it, mama. How could you do that? And Stormi's like, now you my girl, KeKe. I've been fighting, everybody tooth and nail to rock with you. So, like, help me help you, basically. And KeKe's still on this thing of like, I shouldn't have told my mom. My mom was so, she shouldn't have did that. But you know what? I can say, I was wrong for telling her. It is like, Stormi was like, now, girl, like, I'm your friend. Like, you could tell me. You be like, man, I effed up. Like, you could tell me, girl. KeKe just couldn't get herself to say it was her. Like, she couldn't. It was like, oh, my mom, she told the details or whatever. And Stormi's like, but there was just too much that, like, it was too much of particular details that just, like, your mama didn't do all that. And so finally KeKe's like, I can admit when I'm wrong. And when I'm not, I can admit when I'm wrong, but I just, in this situation, I did mess up, I shouldn't have been talking. And Stormi, like, gave her a hug and everything, because Stormi does have a soft spot for KeKe. And I do love seeing, like, that KeKe does have somebody on her side in contrast to what's going on. But it's like, KeKe, you really shot yourself in the foot with this one. You really did. Stormi, first of all, Stormi looked good, okay, y'all? She is looking good. But Stormi, her confession was like, I love KeKe, that's my girl, but at this moment, I don't know if I can just completely say, like, I trust and believe you. Like, I don't know if I can do that. But yeah, so another person we can't trust and believe, Sunni. So Kimmi and Tisha, they, have Sunni out for a little coffee. Tisha didn't know she was showing up. So Sunni sat down and Tisha went straight to going in. Girl, you trifling. She didn't even wait. She was like, girl, you was her producer. Like, we know you. Like, we've seen you. And so we know how this shit goes. Like, for you to come out with her man, married all of a sudden, like, girl, that's real trifling. And Sunni was just like, trifling. Here's what I'm noticing. Sunni's, I don't want to say excuse, but her justification in her mind simply is that I'm a grown woman. I already got friends that I'm super duper close to that I've had in my life. Yes, was I garnering a friendship with Destiny? Sure. But we wasn't like friends. We wasn't in it like that, But you was in it enough, Sunni, to know that morally you felt something in your gut that what you were doing was effed up. Because like you said, when Kimmi was asking, like, so, did you tell her? Like, did you call her or whatever? Like, what's up? And she was like, well, you know, like, I felt like, you know, I thought Moses, like, I think she said, like, Moses said something first, and then she, you know, attempted to call or whatever, and Destiny didn't answer. And she was like, you know, I did, you know, sleep on it, pray on it, because I just knew, like, I wasn't gonna be able to sleep if I didn't call her. And Kimmi was like, well, what do you mean? Like, if you felt like you weren't doing nothing wrong, like, you should have no problem, you know, going, Betty, bye. Like, you would have no problem going to sleep if you if you didn't feel like you were doing nothing wrong. So obviously, Sunni, I think Sunni just can't say out loud, like, girl, I picked the nigga over you. Like, long story short, that's what this was. She saw a man and was thinking Sunni's probably been in her career for a hot minute. You know, usually when you're a career woman, you know, that's what you, especially a producer on these shows, you're super busy. You're gone like half the year. So, you know, she saw opportunity for a man that could potentially, like she said, be her generational wealth. You know, that's always the lick that these men know what to say. You know, I want to build generational wealth for my family. Okay, well, nigga, what wealth do you have for yourself? Because what does Moses do? That's my question. What does Moses do? Can somebody let me know? Because I don't know. Okay, but Tisha was just like, you know, it was just like crazy. Like, we heard this, you know, dropped on social media. It was just like, damn, did Destiny even get a heads up? You know, and she just kept using the word trifling. And she was going to stick it to it with that trifling. And Sunni was feeling some type of way about it. But ultimately, it's like, you can't be like, oh, well, like, I don't owe her nothing. And, you know, she wasn't even really my friend like that. And, like, on the other side, also being like, well, you know, I wasn't gonna be able to sleep at night, but you know, this is a man that I prayed for. And it's like, okay, like, this man could really be my forever. So is that something that I'm willing to give up? Like, a long story short, like I said, Sunni chose the duke, okay? She wanted her amends. She wanted to be able to say, my husband, my man, my man, my man. And Destiny, you were collateral damage, and she was okay with that. But she just can't get herself to just be frank like that, because a lot of people aren't just gonna receive, like, girl, did you really choose a nigga over your girl? Like, you chose a nigga over your friend. Like, that's really what it was. And she doesn't want to seem like that type of chick, because most, like, people view women like that, like, girl, you ain't trustworthy. And obviously, Sunni, in this situation, is given real untrustworthy. So it's just kind of like, girl, what we do need to see, though, is Moses speaking up a little bit more. I mean, obviously, he don't speak well or, you know, portray, you know, the whole situation with them the best, but typically always what happens when niggas get in these messy situations, the woman's always the one doing, you know, the campaigning or whatever. So in this situation, Sunni, I get it, you want to protect your husband, but it's time to start putting your husband on the front line. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I really hope this ends up the way you in your mind you think it is, Sunni, because Moses looked like he gonna you gonna go from Sunni to night. You gonna go from Sunni to night real fast with that nigga. It's gonna be dark as his beard over there in that household, because Moses looked like he ain't worth a damn. Tisha just trifling. But Tisha did make it, y'all, to Africa finally. Girl, don't let us know that you went to Africa finally, because shit don't even matter at this point, because Marcel already went and came back with whatever white woman he was with. All right, last but not least, you guys, KeKe confronts Melody. Melody was at her rehearsal, and this is where Melody, you know, you'll have to get some this episode too. KeKe went over there basically to apologize for all the shit that came out. And Melody really kind of low-key just hit her with the, yeah, I hear you. I've mourned this friendship. You know, I really appreciate you, girl. I really tried to be there for you, girl. I even brought the drug test for you, you know. But essentially, you messing with my livelihood. I can't have no information coming out, you know, and I got kids to take care of. And KeKe was like, you know, I get it, you know, I do want to own up, like, I shouldn't have told my mama, and it's like, girl, stop bringing your mama into this. I should have told my mom, like, girl, but KeKe, you unfortunately got used in this situation. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Melody, you have to get some, because Melody, at the end of the day, you are not cleaning this situation of why KeKe came on. KeKe got a little too much. She got a little too much dip on her chip because she was fighting that fight for you when it came to Tisha. She had her issues with Tisha, but she also was taking on that battle on account of you in the show. Now she took it a little bit too far. Okay, I'm sure you didn't ask her to do all that, but you knew with KeKe coming on the show what that was going to entail. And you try to sit there and play that like behind the scenes, like, well, you know, when they did the playback, like, well, I didn't know KeKe was coming to Houston, but bitch, you had some quite idea. But KeKe, like you really did allow yourself to get used. I'm sorry. And Melody, we're not gonna sit there and act like you didn't get a benefit out of KeKe creating a show, like scenes for you, creating moments on TV for you. And for her now, like, you did basically hit her with the thank you for your services, like, it's wild. But also KeKe, like, that also is on you. But Melody, I'm just saying, like, your hands ain't clean is all I'm trying to say, because you knew what KeKe was about when she was coming on, period. But yeah, Melody basically was like, yeah, girl, I'm sorry for you, and I just, you know, wish you well. And then that was it. That was the episode, y'all. So y'all tell me what you feel about this season, this episode so far. What you think about Sunni? Sunni, girl, you a little too defensive. I get it. Your guilty conscience just won't allow you to say, I picked the nuka over a potential really good girlfriend. And then you did that jab of talking about, oh, you know, I was there for Desi. Like, you know, I paid for things. So it's like, you obviously you were close to her then if you were helping her and paying for things. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Desi, Sunni, you talking out of both sides of your neck, okay? With that illiterate ass nigga over there that you got. But like I said, girl, I really hope it pans out the way you got it in your mind. That little fairy tale potential delusion that these niggas be feeding y'all. But yeah, do y'all think that Martell's ever gonna learn his lesson? Do you think that Sunni and Moses, you know, is Moses worth it? Is Sunni making a good gamble with Moses? Do y'all think? And yeah, what do you guys think about KeKe leaving? And do y'all think that Melody, you know, used KeKe and KeKe allowed herself to be used? I appreciate you for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all hoes later. Deuces.